Hello and welcome to another YouTube video recorded on my phone. um, Eventually I want to figure out how to do this so like I can set up my phone as like a webcam because I think that'd be a really cool idea. But I gotta figure out how to do the other shit first. So what I wanted to come on here and talk about a little bit tonight was once again kind of a relationship and happiness type of deal. So I recently have gone through losing someone and gaining someone I really love and really care about. And, losing one person, it doesn't really matter how close or how not close you necessarily were with that person. And anyone can relate to this. We've all lost people. Like, I feel like a lot of men can relate to this, especially, and I know women can too, but you put so much into a relationship and into showing this person that you care about them and you love them, and then something happens and it all seems to change like that, which seems really funky. Like, you know, why did you love me 1 minute and then the next minute it just flipped? Like, it seems so strange, right? Well, the fact of the matter is, if a girl breaks up with you, it's very likely she was thinking about doing that for like a long time beforehand, and it's not an easy thing to do. Like, I've broken up with girls before. I've been broken up with once before, and it was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. Um, and I think for me, the hardest thing that I dealt with that was like not necessarily losing the person. I loved that girl with my life. She was awesome. Um, I'm She didn't really appreciate me, and she didn't really, I mean, she tried and she really did put a lot of effort in, but I feel like there were times when she just took me for granted, and I could be wrong. Maybe she never did. That's just how I saw it, how I felt. But anyway, being content, with yourself is probably the hardest, but then again, like the most important thing that you can do in a relationship. Because if you're content with yourself, excuse me, sorry, I got a call. If you're content with yourself, then you're not really thinking about, this person doesn't want me. My significant other doesn't want me because they're not texting me back or they're not calling me or whatever the case, That's not necessarily true. It could just be they've had a rough day. They don't want to talk like they normally do, whatever, And that's totally fine. That's totally normal. You should be supportive of that, but that's difficult. That's a difficult thing to get over, and that's a difficult thing to grow from and to grow out of. I know, because I'm only now starting to grow out of it. I'm only now starting to realize that just because they don't want me right this second doesn't mean that they don't want you. And I feel like a lot of guys struggle with this because it's like, most men will agree with me, as a man, your role in society is to be a provider, is to be a caregiver. And it's not easy to do that. And so when you feel like you aren't enough, it's very easy for guys to feel like they're not enough. And I know girls experience that as well. I can only really speak to the male side of it because obviously that's all I've experienced. But no, I guess moral of the story for this short little, 5-minute video that I wanted to do for you was like, appreciate people in your life. Like, I wish that girl would have appreciated me more. But I found someone who appreciates me more than anything and doesn't take me for granted, and I do the same for her. I was with a girl like her a long time ago, and looking back on it, I took it for granted, and now I appreciate everything that this girl has to offer that I saw in the old girl, and that was like, it's such a refreshing feeling because it feels like I almost got a second chance to not fuck it up. So girls and guys out there, don't fuck it up. If you have someone that's giving you attention, that's giving you what you want, that's a good partner, and really evaluate yourself, really evaluate them. Find out, are you as good of a partner as you think you are? Because I try to think that to myself as often as possible. And sometimes I am, but other times I'm not, it's if other people tell you what you're doing wrong, you're probably not going to be receptive to it. But if you tell yourself what you're doing wrong, then you're going to listen to yourself. Yeah, so remember that. Just don't, love others while you can, and appreciate all the people in your life, even if they're just coming and going, you knew someone for a short period of time or a long period of time. But thank you guys for tuning into this. I know it's just a little 5-minute deal, but have a good night, and love while you can.